Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 44-year-old Alabama resident and Air Force veteran Aaron Mileur, I think is how you pronounce it. Mileur is how it's spelled, so Mileur. Anyway, he traveled to D.C. with his cousin and her boyfriend, and then the three of them were among a large group that was confronting officers, and Mileur later admitted to seeing a man using a wooden dowel to hit the police. So Mileur's group was gathered outside of the exterior rotunda doors. And as I've mentioned before, this door was breached several times throughout the day. And the problem was that officers were trying to eject members of the mob who had entered the Capitol through other doors and windows. So when they would open the doors, the mob would try to push their way into the building at the same time. So at some point during all of this melee, the doors were opened again, and Mileur and his friend, or his cousin and her boyfriend, illegally entered the building. So alarms were blaring at that point. They knew they weren't authorized to enter, but they headed inside. They made their way to the Capitol Rotunda, and they were walking around. They took photos and videos, and then they exited the Capitol about 5 minutes later. So weren't inside for a long time. Mileur later told investigators that the tear gas on the Capitol grounds was so thick he couldn't see very well. Again, knew he wasn't supposed to be there. And yet, he and his companions remained on the restricted grounds after they exited the building for about another 30 minutes or more. And they gave an interview to an online news show. So the following day, Mileur texted with his cousin, and they discussed how the government was asking for everyone to turn over January 6 videos. And they had this back and forth of like, well, don't do it. And they're like, oh, of course not. So Mileur's cousin was complaining that they were being called domestic terrorists. And she confirmed that they took down a video, or she took down a video from the Capitol. But she said that, oh, I'm going to leave the photos up. So Mileur was arrested on March 16th of 2021, and he was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in the Capitol. Following his arrest, Mileur admitted to all of his actions, and he confirmed that he saw violence towards the police, but he claimed that the police dispersed when he and other people were trying to enter the rotunda doors. No evidence of that. Mileur also conceded, yeah, I deleted all of my evidence. I deleted all my photos and videos. But then he said, and I purchased a new phone after the Capitol attack. But he said, it was just because his screen was cracked on his other phone. So in December of 2022, Mileur pleaded guilty to the parading charge. So he was looking at up to 6 months in prison, 5 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. But the prosecutor requested only 90 days of home detention, 3 years of probation, 60 hours of community service, and $500 in restitution. U.S. District Judge Randolph Moss presided over Mileur's case, and in the end, Mileur was sentenced to only 2 years of probation and $500 in restitution. Not enough, in my opinion, but so far he hasn't been an issue, hasn't gotten into any other trouble. This is one of the older cases that I'm catching up on. There was one thing that came up, though, that I thought was kind of funny. The court had imposed a weapons restriction on Mileur. They said, during your probation, you cannot own a weapon. So he was not happy about that, as you would imagine. So in April of 2023, Mileur asked the court to reinstate his right to have a firearm. And he told the court he needed the gun for protection from the moose because they sometimes wander onto his property. So the court didn't really buy it. Moose aren't exactly known for attacking humans. So they're like, yeah, I don't think that's a reason to have a gun. So anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it, become a subscriber if you have not. If you can donate, really appreciate it, or become a monthly donor if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.